Good morning, team. How is everyone? Happy Friday to you. I just wanted to take a quick minute. Hopefully Graham will let me get through this video. We're just getting lunch on a little date, just the two of us, and I just want to take a minute to tell you guys what's been going on in my heart the last couple days and share with you just where we're at as a team and where I see us going in the future. So yesterday I was working on points because obviously on the 28th of every month is when a large number of convenience orders are processed and shipped, and it's kind of the last big day to get points in. Even though it is possible to get points the last couple days of the month, it's really the 28th that a lot of the convenience orders end up processing for the last time. And I realized that I knew that we were going to be a little bit short of re-ranking to Ruby just based on what I had looked at as far as projections for convenience orders and all that kind of stuff. So I knew we were going to be a little bit short, but I wasn't too worried about it. And then I yesterday realized that we were a lot short of Ruby, re-ranking to Ruby as a team. And obviously that's the rank I hold. So I'm always a Ruby and continuing to grow forward, but at the same time, there is something that's called attrition that happens, and it just means that people who ordered in the past didn't order this month. And basically we ended August holding Ruby rank at 516 points, which was fabulous, and I'm super stoked about that and super thankful for you guys. And then this month we ended at 399, so over 100 points went missing in the last month. And I am gonna try not to be emotional about this because I've spent a lot of time crying in the last couple days, and it's really hard, you guys, because I have worked really, really hard for 3 years at this business, and I've worked really, really hard to get where I'm at. And to achieve something like Ruby is nothing to scoff at or laugh at or not be proud of. And I'm so incredibly thankful for you guys and so proud that we did that in July. But to see it go backwards is really, really hard when you are reaching for a goal. And this is why I talk about that your why has to be bigger than money. And this is why I talk about your why has to be bigger than a rank, and it has to be bigger than Alexis, because my eggs are all in one basket. There is not another option. I believe that in April of 2015, when the Lord asked me if I would trust him and do Plexus as a business, I believe he asked me to put all of my eggs in one basket and trust that this was the answer for our family's finances. And so I did that. I put all my eggs in one basket, and it was the only option. There wasn't another option out there for me. There wasn't something else that was going to come along. I wasn't going to relaunch my photography business again. I wasn't going to go look for a part-time job again. I was going to give my heart and my soul to this business, believing that God had more for our family than where we were struggling financially, and not seeing Dean as much as we should be, because he's our man. He's our main dude. And you guys probably saw my post the other day about this being about releasing him into his calling, because I know he's not called to do flooring, and I know he's not called to just put stone on walls for the rest of his life. I know what he's called to do, and I know the man of God that he's called to be as a man of influence and a man in this culture that needs a man who is willing to stand up and help other men become strong in the Lord, and help families be restored and help people get set free. And there's so much that I know he's called to do that he cannot do because he's working so much to provide for our families. And I'm not going to digress on that, but I do want to say that I have worked really, really hard to be where I'm at with Plexus. And I've worked late nights and early mornings. I've worked on the toilet. I've worked under my covers. I've worked while nursing a baby. I've worked in my car in this seat so many times. I've worked during nap time. I've worked during breakfast time. I've worked during dinner time. I've done a lot of things to get where I am, but I'm not done. And my why has so much more to do with my husband becoming, being able to be the man he was created to be and reaching lost souls than it does to have to do with a rank or a title or driving a fancy car. Now, I'm not going to say it doesn't have to do with money, because in order for him to be able to do those things, it does take money to live. It does take a certain, income to provide for a family of 4 kids. It does take that kind, money is a factor, and money is good to have, because with money comes influence and becomes power. And this is why your why has to go deeper, because right now I'm looking at my drop in 100 points, and that's $300 roughly that I'm missing out on. And that's $300 that could be going towards paying off debt or whatever our other financial goals are. But it has to be more. It has to be more than that. These tears are not about not paying off debt, because God will provide for that and God's going to take care of it. But this is about the opportunity to save souls. This is about the time that is, in my opinion, getting lost while Dean is spending hours and hours at job sites when he could be spending hours and hours doing the things he loves in ministry. That's what this is about. That's why your why has to be about more than money. Your eggs have to be in the basket to say, I will do this and I can do this, and I'm not going to stop, and I'm not going to give up, and I'm not going to let go of this thing that I believe God has placed in my heart to do. You have to get a stronger why, because if your why is just about money, God will always provide, and God will always take care of you. He will always provide a way out of tough situations. But what if the way he is providing is through Plexus and you are not doing what you're called to do with it? And I'm not blaming anyone for this drop in points, not at all. I am not putting the blame on you guys at all. I am so incredibly thankful. So I want you to hear that. But I also want you to hear that your why has to be bigger than money. It has to. If your why is so that you can stay home with your kids, why is that important? Why does that matter? If your why is to retire your husband from his job, why is that important? Why does that matter? If your why is to give generously, which I know some of you guys, that's your why, and that is huge and awesome and whatever, but why does it matter to give generously? What does that affect? Who are you giving to? And whose lives are going to be changed because of your generous giving? Your why has to go beyond yourself, and it has to go beyond the things that you can see in front of you right now. It has to get you out of bed in the morning, and it has to draw you and pull you deeper. If your why doesn't motivate you, and if you can make excuses why not to work the business, then your why is probably not deep enough. And I just want to challenge you guys to just get a deeper why. Just figure it out and make it something that gets you out of bed in the morning. Make it something that no matter what happens, you're going to go for it. You're going to go for your goals. And like I've said in the past, you don't have to have the same goals as me. That's just fine. But I want you guys to know that I'm not stopping just because we went backwards. I'm not giving up just because this was a hard month for me personally, and obviously for us as a team if we went backwards in points. I'm not stopping because my eggs are all in one basket, and I am giving it my all, and I am going to go Emerald. I am not stopping. And I want you guys to know that you guys can do this if you don't give up. And hard times are going to come, and you're going to cry, and it's going to be frustrating, and you're going to just not want to get out of bed. But believe me, it is worth it every time to get out of bed and to do the things over and over again. So that's all I got. Graham's ready to eat. We're going to go have lunch and have a little date. So you guys have an awesome Friday. We'll talk soon.